pledge myself to the service of the Lord with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to hold in my esteem a heritage won for us through the blood and joy of our fathers. And I pledge myself in order to uphold and defend the whole name of the Lord, so help me, Lord. I promise to hold in my esteem a heritage won for us through the blood and joy of our fathers. And I pledge myself in order to uphold and defend the whole name of the Lord, so help me,
What's yet the Torchlight Jumedi Ewo Mix 100.9.
Neat FM Neo.
Assassini e abodi maye moja na mshebunyani tomaye nitupini wasusu seyebeye biatosu inyachasu kutokani nyakasabi kuminya ediyembe mutomaye nasasu mutatumse omanu sebeyeyo omanu seriyeyo Omafo braneche, omanu sebeyeyo, omanu seriyeyo, eyesedase, omafo braneche.
Neat FM Neo.
What's yet the Torchlight Jumedi Ewo Mix 100.9.
Yeah.
The Torchlight Unity Ewo Mix 100.9.
And then you may Yamagana phone in Aqua Bed Bandit 100.9. Jumedi your friend, the Torchlight, and ne Yawada. Edru Yawada say, any a Benadabiano Yatanasia, ne your Torchlight Munsem, and the Yadebro Yatanase, Yababa Junjun Yamagana home como, Yababa and Samako de Coso Yamagana mo, Sabria Menoka say, ye bisa and Kania na Dundumono, and ne ya. Ayade agreed co for the statement about one must see a Kosomo, one of the substations, baby a woman noa and Kaniana ebefa, no mutime chicha de mayeno, ejatum. And I'm so Emma Kaniano, a dunduma Yajumamu has a dundundumsa. It is said now one must see ja atom or substation back on a year a Kosombo and Newton and Manacobasa, and agreed co for the statement about the Twabontain. Na what said ya and Kanye and Ekona and you may baby I want to say Edumana and CC and Usawama Mayanya and the TSA Wamus CC. I am a meno BBC Bana men premi home because at the end of the day, Yenina ye said Yeko. A bay will be a so there be one more bois, the Omo can crumble bois, and ya upgrading beyond a coso. It's Ayana men premi home a moi attain. Sankania dundum. No man penny na monokra me nya ne TSA transformers bi na ye upgrade ene de akeka ho a na ye bisa se so tenesa na you convinced me de wokasa akire me a meji adi because e de a ebre na ebe kire apani apa transformers ne upgrade e de se dum so de bejai enka na e de ebejai ebegina na nan so se de aban ba afoforo no se ye be ka ye ho a aban ba afoforo na kan na ne gina nan so yie pa de gina nan so no kra na MPP for kwet make say woma penso no ma omudi gu akwa muti na manka na gina nan so obi kasa onyam fom so just like say MPP for so bad the year 2017 womo ba ye no dumso na ye womu ye ko mo be ye mfie miensa no call form kra be no so kire say yes MPP ba no be ye magic eye enoma bi NDC so di gu akwan mu a ebegura mu eye the year 2017 eno ene no so beboai e man kan e be gina nan so 2017 a eba after the latter part of MPP wo ma membo no mu no agoba se dum siesie binom ne ade ekokoso eno so enam so a NDC ba yi eno so nkane no ebe stable e very stabilize ye chance for fra na dudum ba na nya rough rough say ena ebe stabilize ya ye kra ye ka ho asem be wa ha afi say aye say nsiesie because that is the official statement nsiesie a ekoso nti ena man kane no edundundundum enti ana ye mu bi no ye mpre ye ho say ye beka ensem no na asem no so no kura wo mu no say ye ka ne say de tie na mom ekoduru baabi na afei ye hu say na period ya ye de ama enwa ba bedu anasa still sa na ye de ya ekwo no ne ye wo asem bi a na afei ne afekere ye se ne yaka but for now ne de be ma the benefit of the doubt. Some of us will give the benefit of the doubt ebia due to politics no many ade ni nti na de de a obi abeka na dwen de because they are can grid ko for say ja to wo mo substation mo eno no one okojo machinye wo mo the pictures ni ade nyina ba fire service for wo a wo mo dum ja no ye hu ni nyina nti na ba ne sa na will still give the benefit of the doubt nti na many the business community food and beverages Food and Beverages Association of Ghana ye far back for many more secretary e ba be din komo ye be beside the business community anan kane ane ye say ya how does it really affect them how affect you because your plant on the banisa na say getumi ya ne ye twaja atum fuel de ye can say cost additional cost e ba be kan your production na wo ye ho enti ye be beside how does it really affect them one more ha publican AI in some so a ebaye ewo eye port Ghana Revenue Authority for crowd admit say sa publican AI ne baye no generate sika sa wo kra noama edeba eye o my Ghana mu a se wutua no trepo ye nam so ma trade and agribusiness aso ye no trade ministry na the statement about bonten say chamber of cement manufacturers womo kasa womo noama bia womo kra edeba ye memo no enoama no atrepo etese akona nim due to a publican AI ne activation na eba so report ho edwadifo amfa nya kwadro say ye guta Food and Beverages Association for your friend say Traders Advocacy Group Ghana for aboso kan spare parts for nyamini ni penim Ghana edwadifo and especially those in the business community woman fa any agrokra womu to one among the series of engagements emma womo treated demonstration na say womo shas yembo say womo yom demonstration so womo no ma na aba no enka port womo kran konkonko yi ko demurrage na aba ne be fa no wafa na womo atena womo nko kran ka so womo kwa kotua duty bia elsa no ama ne ho if ada de sembebre ebai ene koba say series of engagements so Ghana Shippers Authority for Bemu, Ghana Revenue Authority, Finance Ministry nankasa womu nyina bemu a womu koye series of engagements and nay ye kasa woma power bedwokua sa bedwokuo na ebetena se womu terms of reference womu betena se woma ba behwe publican AI because ye kasa womu de na nanka one of the reasons anasa no na si eye yenuanom a womu ye adwadifo one the business community no one expressing say na ka be ya it is about put to hold about change the implementation process of the publican AI no but a holiday about ntimi anyantum na mom de one can say one more ba behwe anomalies kwan on be fast wa correct say obi na yayo or one overcharge because so be crowd de na ade na 3 pesos $3 adie no $3 na sa $3 no publican AI beba na be ko $40 a emse ne de ya asefem adie wutua na nanka wutua $3 publican AI ba o say wa charge eye $40 eye times 10 what you say Eti ano na ba ne saa na saa de no because Chamber of Cement Manufacturers the omode kwato trade and industry and agribusiness enimo no saa no amana na woma express ba ni nyina mu no asuaye ne so tron krata e de kokoma the finance ministry say be na finance ministry no ebetimi ahwe na woma consider sa implementation of the publican AI. It is a says akwakoba ne say na still a how do we correct the anomalies though adwadifo na ye a bit convinced because former power bejoku adwadifo na nkasa no part of the committee won ba behwe say won betimi atenetene no ama na wo mehu publican AI no kwan a ebefa so na ye adwuma ma adwadifo no ho atom because ya nhwene ya at the end of the day enye adwadifo asem de yebeka onu adwadini de so akoto no mo ye business person obi an odi dwa opese oboka eti an okoyi no ama na se ebo ne de cement no ade a wo mo de ye ka no mutu ya $3 na afi wo mo betu ya $40 okay and then so mo ye wo mo be pass on wo mo de be ma ye no mo a ye kwa akoto the final consumer eti na je se be ma no ama bo nso aye de akosoro because ye ni prefer say Ghana han ye no ama bibre no ye kra ene ye de ba ye mayimo eti na je se be ma no ama bo no nso akosoro amana kwa akoye bibia wo ho eti we ni nyina na ye nkomodi a akoso a ye ba behwe ne ye ne eye fabak said the Mekan Food and Beverages Association of Ghana ye ne wo mpanyi for back wo general secretary ye friend no Ora Samuel ato agri ye no ebedi nkomo de bisa ne say so far enwama mu etesen so far enwama mu etesen na ye hu said ya esunsunsu anso etie alongside ye kwa enim na ye be engage other community no awomo sa circle sa sector no mu a no so ye be engage wo mekra noma edeba na ye didi nkomo no ye bisa se noma ekosen ewomo enti we ne nkomo akodo a ye bedi enne anwumrei ewo Torchlight jumadi so we neat 100.9 na yetimedi di nkomo na ya hwe the way out se bibiba na se engagement no entimi ankoso yia because Ghana Revenue Authority for admit say kwakwa say the implementation of the publican AI no anko from ana maintain no mabiase because no ma maintain ase ne say yes say bibi mu a aya na engagement sa eti say abenwuma na womo sesa bibi mu say womo ye no aya na womo nye ade no so de wan ye de dede na ebeba obi anu a wo implement bibi nipa na ntia de na se a obetimi aka ade no so de won ntia se obeka ne say obi abeka ne se de anadwen ye no obi abeka se de anadwen ye no ena ade no so no sei womo a ayi womo no ama ever since publican AI ne ba ye no a womo atua duty ama na boro so saa no ye betimi analyze ye hu say duty na womo atua no aboro so nti bia next time or krabi bia ba ye be considerations bi be koso na nipa no atimi effect e won the duty obetuam na abafoma na abafoma na we ni nyina na ye questions eti say ye nyina ye bisa ye ho na ye mu kwan pa ebefa so na ye implement bibia e de ohaw e de bebre ye we ni samakodo nkoma ye bedi no enanwumre ko Facebook live na ye neat 100.9 FM neat 100.9 FM saranso ena wo call YouTube channel na ho ne despite media honso okwa wo behu yen comment bi a wo bia na wo de ato na de amaye mede de Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN media seda Emma Juliana studio assistant Dr. Faradix na executive producer and I'm general manager Kennedy Asante Osei Boni Chido media seda so de bema engineering group atuagbo na na jarene na na aboaje edamase simple so in charge of the electricals woman na hyehyɛ bibia toto no amachinchim mfidie de boa me de Torchlight jumedie ye de bra wo neat 100.9 etika me ho ne yendi nkomo ebebia wo mana to because you are part we are part of the show na wo so wetimi akere wadwen Monfancha me say menya serious cold but ni nyina mo we are forcing to work say beboa me my Ghana to makointi say wunya me voice ni ya now dey ache me because menya cold kakra iti eno so aya na mo dey ache me wo ho ye ka say owura samo ato agre watena se ye no ebedin komo ye ragre ya mo ajo
Enya.
me pa to na pomu ti say
Nyame adom o da ma de na
aseda kese pa na ese yede ema no pa na eye fa bag nso se mo ho ye de
Nyame adom.
na business e kosen kakra
AI na akwafa ba de ahunche kakama anyway but when we falling in line no I'm say generally no ekosuma but then we share the kind of imposition no and the problem no because AI no enya dey favor obia into no e wanna say because the first 3 months post survey omo year no and the implementation as they have it. According to system no we don't have a full implementation yet into no omo hwe nim so may implement but before anka we implement the full rollout no you need to get certain things done into no this is where we are ya from so mo hwe and shemo ya nyina the call is let us pause and then do the right thing until so meeting as supremo nanka eno an na senke but as they said no coming up with a committee to help to address the issues no the litany of issues that they cannot even address in 3 months you know the only where everything my AI no agyeman once I ran it for almost about for the first 3 months according to them and then
I say running how many months now
almost 30 and almost year pilot
ana
almost year pilot be that was even before January okay you know I'm say they took 3 months that is when almost share in February to tell us that has been the outcome you know they intend to roll it out but in between the time and open years implementation that is where you need to engage but the transparency of the issue is that nobody understands the way the AI system is working. But we share algorithms not the agyeman na simple. Every statistician will tell you say you need to really look at the figures the way they are, then look at it because algorithm no who pushy button no our computer no so price of no from the manufacturer to the retailer. Until retailers said 150 difference in pricing units and the importer no ono ne obenya ne say bi obenya 3 or 4 valuations because obi beko no obeko akoto ade no price ni different obi so beba the quantity ono so pe no ebesesa obi so beko ono so beko akoto ade na bia the quantities that they are looking at no ontumi emit ntino ebeba ne say bia okoto ade no at one price at the end of the day no that price with the high value is imputed and as embedded in the electronic system into we can say AI in Kofambra it will go shopping lifting all the prices wherever they find it can find and then bring it to board into no say we operate no can say okay then let me use the higher value or whatever value that you want to use that value for your implementation. And what will happen is ebema dwedifo no enya nsem bebre esan say wo wonji omunji endi and yeso yenji wundi say systems na we use dey apply duties no they are not disingenuous to business into no wo hwe sa na ma we na we bisa say na edwuma na wo ye no wo ya ama aban ana say wo ye na wo nya ho fa so but be it as it may, Abampe is so raise the needed revenue. That is the key note. I see a revenue, no, but a convention.
A convention, I say a first years revenue.
Into the AI coming on board, no, we share thin line now or draw now. Tembiano or no, go near mano, won't say what prices, not less than 25%.
Yeah.
So,
also, Chamber of Cement Manufacturers. Later, woman, the comma, a year trade and industry ministry, no. ɛna ɛyɛ de ana ɔmo keka wɔn nneɛma na wɔn kra ɛde ba adeɛ $3 na ɛna $40.
Okay. Nti
na wɔkeka sɛ nneɛma wɔ ebom a na kyerɛ sɛ
nti wɔahwɛ $3 no
na ɛkɔ $40.
$3 no is based on cubic.
Yes. Yes.
Now, say cubic way now be use no. Say no, if it's $3 and you have to pay for $40 and $41.
Yeah, then you in multiple terms, the number of cubic.
Until at the end of the day, no, why you one import of about 100,000 metric tons, then you need to pay almost about 200 million Ghana cedis as duty. Then you acquire next or buy. Or share cement board about form. A buyer to about 75. Perform. So I there no. A better form this month even reduction, serious reduction. As cement crab it me about 55 within a short time. As I say, ECG increment on muye no. Omotisu about form. Into no and no be reprieve kakrama. But if you look at it and you go to the market today, certain aspect the friends and those on the high demand. And I said the best brand our market in this year no. Wouldn't be 110. This year 110. From 75 to 110. So I ask yourself why not so buy. So but good said the they lay the issues bare for everybody to understand. Inti nema na ekosro e wo dwomo a enye dwedini no na wa sheda atum because we hwe emra sidi no again in strength kakra.
The strength kakra, yeah.
Na yaka say muntiti nema so my position was enye nema na yebetiti so no, but the kind of policy that you have at the port and no na say ehwe say e betumi ateso because the city need na bibia gina na sa and depreciate I appreciate yeah. Ube Senka Eden really came on board at that time. What really came on board? I know SNM abo ever form. And no say Nkabeshe say duty in some of the friends and policies and will introduce you port one. I know Emma business any friendly or port one. Mbeshe na ye free honum. Say nebe ya nkofo yes ejuma no. Ome hu ebe hin. Unfortunately no, those things are still pending. And our son cover AI aba. We share clearance. On the duty aspect now. Ebinimu there echo demurrage. It's not going on demurrage because they have nothing to declare.
Declare, yeah.
But the understanding of how the AI came about with the figures. I know, friends saying import calculation amount. That is where the problem is. Intino, then you have to go back and then look at it. But there's another interesting aspect of it. And it's what we are important. Over the years. Into your funny says Samagri. Macraniama over the years and now 2-3 years. Several times within that year. Now prices are buying the same commodity. A year, I declare 1 CD.
Yeah.
Another, and I'm declaring 10 CDs. Another time I declare 9 CDs. Another time I declare 5 CDs. Inti say okofa sa shopping prices neba. Now if you know, cause some nemo crab between this year no. The prices are they buy any.
No, I pick the maximum.
Between 5 and 10 CDs. Not the same item, no. After year and back at us and officer and say with the system, no, we need to limit the human intervention. And no being to nature and say, may use me discretion.
Yeah.
Into no, you say because other jurisdiction, our more your friends saying, we use AI and as a smart system. It rather improves revenue, also improves the system.
The system.
And your friends saying under invoicing.
Emma, yeah.
And no Emma. The other way, and also Emma is say, me importer, no, I'll get a fair pricing. Into no, both importers, I'll more the same year money band, so more 50 and 100. In a year declare different prices. But that same product in Siciano, you'll find the same price for all. In the same kind, say me na makofa bana it me amamsa price enough. One item it me declare over 2 years, 4 different prices. It is hard for different prices. Never saying. Now, last one, I come and say, I declare $5 instead of $10. Into my system, no, I confirm, I say, I declare $9 before, I declare $5 before, I declare $10 before. Into CCR, no, system back just say, okay, $10, no, if you are no high. But if you use that price, still I'm in buffer. The price no will be stable. It's an semiana me declare sometime. But forgetting this, at the time that I was selling at $10, I'm the buyer. No. Important, and as a manufacturer, no, there was an agreement that when you increase your import to certain volume,
or better so the price will come down. Yeah,
it is a price, no. At this time, the 100 containers never. Not some price never do $5. It's genuine.
Let's just say you wo and the one that declare.
So
the agreement between me and the manufacturer because we're increasing import here volumes, no.
So are there no? Into no some the price never. That's what Kachem said there. Me increasing this year. Then tell me at what price.
And I'll pay say
say me the nyaman bar into. But if you do that, who purchase say manufacturer no cry na one man price or you're wrong. Then they come to the fact say okay, if that is what I'm saying now, and then me confirm me last your friend saying
bill of entries and I say
and I'm swift payment I'm based on the
based on and what they call you
now me the basa na ebia the last time when I made that import I brought only 5 containers me tia $10 this time na me dey aba no me dey bia 50 containers na me dey aba intino ma declare $5 how do you reconcile this intino say officer net no catch him say by using that human interface no Ekajem said, look, your price is between 10 and 5. Intino will not use the 5. We'll use the 9. Intino, Branabit your duty on the 9. Once I'm paying that duty on the $9, when I'm doing a transfer to the manufacturer now, I'm supposed to transfer $5. It is a
difference, no?
$4.
Okay, funny variance in a woman.
That means in and then you say manufacturer, I friend say retailer. So then you have to reprice your goods again, and then pass on the cost.
Yeah.
It is and they will buy and I say those times I deliver $5 no, with the amount 20 cities. Then that me de abana is into $10 no, call 40 cities.
40 cities.
Oh, the sharp variance.
Yeah.
Just within a short.
Yeah.
Now I didn't increase it. Inti me must say American say, look, government needed that revenue, but how do we come to that compromise? Sisiano, AI has worked for more than 5 months. Prices no or the go database no into then let us look at the common denominator. Like I say, if it to me this time you use a lower price because that is where people are manipulating the system. That is what they are saying. But if that is the truth, you share between the 5 and the 10. You can say, okay, we can push it to $6. $6 is more than what people are under declaring. Until $6, this productive. You have to go and pay $6 to do that instead of using the $10 to do it. And no government is raising the revenue. So, but what should be a tremor? Say you use benchmark value to determine the price. And one say, Nema Wakraba, no ban say price with the engine to intimato. I'm saying at one amount at a higher value. Now could share duty. Intino the same thing as AI.
But
okay,
but
we share AI in the system no use now. Sometimes you can't go on Google to look at prices and then bring them because we name on internet soon. The very moment you key in the price, when you sit in Palugu or India or Iceland, and then you Google that same price, the same price now will turn or Ghana it will appear over there. Because we turn or Ghana Hana will be watamali or your order also free delivery. Who can just do free delivery from Accra to Tamale? Intino, the inherent cost ne wo mo a cover for transport.
Transport, no.
A womb, and price, no. A cost. Until what we are interested to buy, you buy. But if you are going to use the retail price or the Google price to value the price for people to pay, that is what we are saying. Say, look, it's better you hold on. Let us agree, understand the system, and then be more transparent. Because it's just no transparency behind the baby. There's no transparency in the whole thing that is being implemented. But government is making the money or the revenue that they needed, and in excess. So the thing say that is how it's supposed to go. But we beg to differ. In 24, because of this policy, it could be a fine policy. Because in other jurisdictions, wherever they are implementing the smart system, it's helping the importer and also helping government do its business. We are not saying, say, ma buying yet. A good thing now, people cannot cheat the system. So that whoever is bringing the same product, all of us will pay fair prices. That is what we want. But the way you are implementing it is what is becoming a problem for all. Ese utumi eye hu bibi. Ida se obetwa san. Asensan yanka se mentwem.
Yeah.
Twi san kakra. Say 2 weeks so 1 week na obetumi aya. You engage people for them to understand why we need to bring this thing on board so that all of us can move on as a country. So that the government so needed revenue on super say onyano.
Na ora agree menka it for say yene Samuel to agree or General Secretary Edema Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Food and Beverages, yes, Association of Ghana, Fabak. Na maybe say I am not swift advice and woman consider.
Sometimes when people are in opposition, the way they talk and when they are in government, because when you are vying for governance now, you say everything, you listen, you go around and listen. You are ready to listen. But when you come and they tell you something now, you beg to differ.
Differ, yes.
Say, oh, Sanamo candidate, there be you are playing with the core issues of people's hearts. A problem, but you see, you need to look at the economic situation that we have. Whether it will be prudent for us to increase prices the way we want it to be increased, or we need to have a fair duty imposed on businesses so that they can seem to be having a very fair trade in the system. Fair trade. But if it comes overboard, then it becomes a bit of a challenge for the people to contend with. And AI system, we are not saying it should go, but then let us perfect it in a way it will be a benefactor for government and also for traders as a whole. Because it cannot be said, all of a sudden we are seeing changes in terms of prices coming down, and then we bring on board this style of AI, and then things will start escalating in the way that it's supposed to not to escalate. Remember, simple, your friend is saying, knowledge you are more. Who say, are we really for the AI, or we really want to go for your friend saying other systems are and no bit me enhance duty collection. Now government revenue now ready for so it me aye adwuma so no. Because I would want to see the transparent aspect of it so that when I'm paying, I know say yes, I have to pay. Say, your friend is saying the issue between the trader and government. And then vie for the fairness of the trade and then what is beneficial to government. That is where this analogy is coming in. Say ya nhwe ni yie na ya nge ni yie se ne sese fatana. Ye be wie no na fe di mining na dem. Because ye be ye kodun pembe so bi a ye be ka say ade no kra se ne ye no na nye sa. Nti no yensan ko yechi ne nko ni yie. Na ko ni yie na nkrofo na waji se scan ni free wo, are you going to make a refund, or we are still going to go the tandem in which we are all flowing together? Na ebeba ni say Jedifo ebe sutem bia asrese aban enyi bibrim free ho. That is not the case, because we share the previous administration now. Everything that we say will not be taken on board. But with this administration, if you are bringing something and you say, Adewe, and yet, they engage. But then, if it comes to the implementation aspect of it, that is where it becomes a big challenge for people to contend with. And you know, the state should seek to benefit or seem to benefit from what is going on, whilst business people are also fighting. Until we share afane yinana. Yaka say, Debbie, Obi ankasa memfamba. Nemum, mayenya ni se nebe ya, ebe man Jedifo so when you because at the end of the day, consumers, we are going to bear the blunt of any increase that comes onto the market. Into no sisi an wo hwe market nankasa na nema bo akofom there be a call no a start rise into you can see that in the inflation that is coming at the end of this month, and then the cost of CD that is reflecting on the forex exchange, you know. It's not for anything that we are saying. Take a pause, look at it, and let us rehearse the way it's supposed to be, and then let us come on board and really support what is right. And you know, we are all in support of this AI, but its implementation and the way they are implementing it has been the big challenge for us to accept the way.
Right, because who said the reason now because na be sano as I say okay nipa ne de no manaba you betimi attract payments omeki payment or the the suppliers and manufacturers their payment and sabi and yes sika che botom na kwa ma che obi nsem evidence ewo enti eba ne sa na say sa disparities no ebemu a manufacturer na nka ne nipa no 10 containers they say we increase of about 50 containers manufacturer na will say yes or konanim and it will reduce the price. It's not a matter of just confirming it via a deeper transaction or yeah would that be difficult? Be difficult and a
see anything because we obi didra what we call the fairness and the transparency aspect. Where I will not declare undervalue for government to lose revenue, and where I will also be charged a fair duty for me to pay. But where there's a doubt between the two, that is where the one who has the power or wills the power will then tell you, say, Debbie, let me go back and look at the issue the way they are. And you know, what they are now, I don't accept. This is the way it's supposed to go. But the way it's supposed to go, is it fair? Because globally, there will be a friend transactional values. Customs, WTO for a use of BIA or a signatory to the friends WTO organization. A use of values. At the age, transactional value, no use and no chess, as more important, and which
yeah.
The values are mema declared. If there's any doubt, then go to the arbiter. The arbiter is that you can easily go behind and find out from the manufacturer, because details now of the manufacturer is there or the importer. The only problem that sometimes we have is people who go shopping in bits and pieces and put them in a container and bring it. Because bits and pieces, no, or no come manufacturer and of course sometimes retail market. Oh, no share price no retail. No, who's the bag na akra still an obenya be $1. Oh, nti side of funny sa no dia ba. No come market no kwakoto. But so come manufacturer is different. Nti they mostly ply within this third party traders, and then they fill up their container and bring it. Nti with this price, when they bring it,
because especially just spare parts for
yeah.
On fan back, baby fako. Okoha different. One more can in our book.
And you can force.
Yeah.
Oh, and yet new engine. And I say yeah, entire.
Well,
Nina deal be use now. And we use to know sometimes in Ghana here even say a town car, let's say a government car. Yeah, they call a friend saying.
Evaluation.
No more say price. No, say price. Car a ton 200,000. Yeah, value 20,000. So and then that one is fair. But when it comes to you, the trader, they don't accept the values that you prefer.
Oh, what they ban? Because bargaining experience, the panel bet to me, I call on any.
That is it.
Well, yes.
Oh, into no.
I said Metro Mass. Say me. So supposing say Metro Mass. And yet the panel no koya no go to you. Valuation officers and a state transport and be value no more say we say na moton na it's a no akwakoto na fa say what they call cross airport. What they call exporter ko na wudru an aka just say there be we 200,000 so you should come and pay 200. Meanwhile, due diligence be akoso be answer na.
I don't know.
Ana normally because I mean the enter yama no yo bagwa mi no. Yes,
and yes, sir, Canana.
Yeah,
and naughty the other side.
Yeah,
I said, Nemano, I find a new no say, I did we uncle because we'll be a check it out. Now, Becca said, no, I did we do ya checking the value, say, say, it's 200,000. You used to can maybe at 2 years, 3 years. Into value number from cry, I say depreciating maybe 20 or 30%. Now, I call below 10% and not 15%. Into a raise red flag. Into Sadia and continue on now we say Biana no koto Sadia.
Yeah.
An evaluation officer no Biana Bibiako Swintina we're reducing because it happens in the government sectors where chief directors and then the politicians when they want to go on retirement.
Well, more vehicles
car no so use assistant cars na on him so beko retirement next month and 2 months time. No assistant car. Now Ojik Saka Nisio, a trainer 1 year number.
Yeah.
Now, the value no about from and so much value, no so be value on Bayano because Kai Sio, I use it is a walker auction cars. Cars be a honor, who say can 85 years. And so, quality of that car still is very high.
Yeah.
And so, everybody no say because the value no. And I say 85 years. No, Omo say 85 years can you good. The mileage be 10,000. Into no, or Tony say 85 years. Into or fair no, send a water accident car. Anyway, when say depreciation in Kakra woman air kit baby, you go and pick it and bring it this country, and then you also run the way it's supposed to run. But if it will be good in terms of the costs, I can say. This is how the AI is preferring those prices for the trader. Then it should transcend beyond every commodity. I know so grand me kwakoto Ghana we ewo aban ho a so mo impute to side the energy system.
Okay.
Na AI generated price. No human should value it anymore. But we do that just to benefit from it. It is important, no? And so Bana say systems now at the port, no, it's not fair. That is where they also try to manipulate. Let me give you a typical example. In a country like India, I've been going there a lot. When you bring anything from that place, when they generate the invoice for you, because on himself they way phone way, I can sell it between $100 and $120.
Okay.
Into me banner se me negotiation, they will not go below $120. And from $120 to $100.
$100.
Into no, they will not go below $100. Into no, they'll be working between the 100 and the 120.
And the 120.
Into no, whatever be the case, when you do the export, and the goods get to the destination, government inspect your export documents and then give you certain taxes back into your rebate. in terms of taxation. Into Okona so Okoya no ebia $90 and $80 just to undervalue. When you go back, government will not accept. You lose the rebate, and then you are blacklisted in doing that export again. You cannot go in someone's name and do an export because they are very careful. They know what the consequences are. But if these values, if we want to say we do Hanamwa, customs already have that information. But yesterday they tell you we will not accept. So if you will not accept, what are you expecting me to pay?
Yeah.
Me na makra nema na ban. Also won't just surprise into because it's a fair price. What do you want me to do? So if that is the case, you tell me what price you want me to pay when I bring these prices. Let it be uniform across board so that AI system will not be there where the same item, I mean, they banner also the buyer, media no cost me $10. Oh, they don't be not pricing of $5 at the amount. No, what claim you say, okay. Now, when that system nankasano, I'm saying say transparency isn't the key, If it should be fair, or government or the implementers should be fair, when you put in the request and it brings out those litany of prices between $1 and $100, and then it tells me that my price of this bottle is $2, then it should be $2. But yesterday they will tell you that there will be $2 in the extra. Until let us go and read. Then they look at the measure points and then you pay the higher value. So if the system is fair, then let it be fair and transparent. So now, the other person also they ban the price now cost through. Osha won't say no. We declare $2. I don't know where they not declare no.
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
Then there must be something wrong. So therefore, that AI system cannot be that super intelligent. Because on one or prefer $2 demo be. Now me they will prefer $100, $50. Until then I have to go engage the human face na say
free honor.
And then I have to go back to them for them to decide my fate. Where lies the transparency in this issue? So with all the figures that we have by now, every item has a price in there. So let us look at the prices and then say, because government need the revenue for this, let us go and then look at the values that we are bringing in. Every item that you are bringing, maybe we'll put $1 on it. Then they do your invoice for you and then you pay. Your name, duty SOB here. Say, Ninaba abridged $50 for the same friends. iPhone 12. And you'll be an him saw the bar iPhone 12. But because of revenue, buying here their engagement, they will put another $1 on it. To send a more year, any oil, any other way. These things are there. And if you allow the AI to go ahead and do, then the policy that you brought, so be a crime on the bar, will be to extra 20% on the value, or the oil bar will be to 40% extra on that value. Then we are defeating that. On the global system now, when Trump was announcing, say, let us raise values for goods that are coming in from these countries, 15%, 20%. What did the Supreme Court of America say? He said, it's wrong. You cannot do that. So, someone year, it will go beyond certain level. I don't know. One year, I feel the law will tell us, look, it's wrong for government to use these values in implementing the offense and the policy that they want to implement into. They need to go back and then do the right thing. Because the only right thing and they say, let us discuss it and then find a common ground as to how we will do it. And that one should not be something permanent. It should be something that you are doing it within a period. And you needed to raise certain revenue to do it because you are proud to say every day you are raising $3 million. But are you raising it in fairness or ambiguous your friend saying a system that you are deploying to cheat the system. There be. So we need to really look at how the AI system is really working for people. I don't want to go into the technicalities. There are people who came here and they told you what these challenges are. So your friend is saying, GRA, but nasi, no so catch you. Onobeka just say, oh, we've been able to do this ABCD. But then, is it the fair way in doing it? Because you see, in this world, international trade, there are rules that you cannot overlook. And you know, if you are doing a fair trader, you need to consider all ABCD within the fair trade system. Because WTO, World Trade Organization, World Customs Organization, almost one there. And our within our custom, your friends say enclave, Yankasa as a country, we have our own policy.
Yeah.
That policy should be fair and in tandem with this international agency as they are. But you cannot put your own policy to override the international agreement that you yourself, you are signatory to. And you know, we need to be very fair to the system. And in a year, what will happen is, come next year, what the gains that we have this year, even before the end of this year, you will see so many things happening now. Already, the economic situation does not warrant that. This year, when you go to the market, it's not that people are not buying. They are simply not buying. Whether the money is there or it's not there. But when you go to the supermarkets, they are empty. They are simply empty. Before you see people queue in the tills trying to pay. Today when you go, you just go and pay and then you go. It will take another 20-30 minutes before somebody else will come. So, on the other side, I see who say inflation is coming down. Cost of city down. Taxes, 21.9%. This year, it's 20%. So, what is really happening? That people are not able to dispense. And things are still going up. You ask yourself, what is happening? So these are the fundamental issues that we need to address. Than letting the AI take the pace that will eventually increase the prices again. Because you see, in this country, we don't have price control mechanism. So for me, when the AI came, I said, look, it will be fair everybody to pay the same duty on the same item. But where is the fairness of that duty? And who determines the value of that product? Where I go to Amazon, the price is different. I come to Google, the price is different. And then I go on other shopping centers, the prices are different. Your friends saying internet sales. The same item. When you go to, let me use this, our fraternity, ShopRite.
Okay.
You go to Marina Mall. You go to Melcom. You go to Maxmart. You go to Shop and Save. And all these places that we know. And then you go to the market itself, Makola. In Crawford, internet sales. Did me a delivery in this Their prices, when you Google now, the same item, you see how much the variance are. The prices differ from shop to shop. So, which one is the AI picking? Is it picking the higher one or is it picking the lower one?
Yeah.
Who is doing the wholesale? So, these are things that we are talking about. Genuine. The concerns that they are raising are very genuine. And we need to look at it, address it the way it's supposed to be. Otherwise, what it will mean is all of us will be thieves and only one person will be right, which is not the case. Because soon to me, Kasenko, no be a price here wrong. Intino, una obe more price of month and Usika na open. Is that the way to rob the people the way it's supposed not to be? So, until let us look at the issues the way they are. We can take it one by one. Nyama debano and Chesubia, we can just look at them. Because because in order to save this problem, all the goods that are being manufactured in this country, we know how much taxes we pay. The raw materials that come, we know how they come in and how much we need to pay. It's easy to tell, say, markup no, and say this price. Because everybody is paying the same fair price and duty clearance for the raw material. Production costs, electricity, should be the same for everyone.
Yeah.
It depends on the capacity that you are using. But if it's the same, say me produce biscuit, 100 tons a day. No, bisu produce 500 tons. We are all using the same electricity. But then you look at the other antecedent costs that come into play. All of them, are they paying the same? If I bring in my raw material, am I paying the same raw material? Because BBT says sugar, for instance, today, we don't know which one is the raw material and which is the commercial use for people to pay. Everybody pays the same. But when you come to the manufacturing space now, sugar is considered as a raw material. So therefore, it should be addressed as such. But unfortunately, to GRA, no. You pay the duty that you are selling in the market. If I'm selling the thing for 100 cedis within my wholesale market in Makola, you pay the same. That is how they charge you to pay. Until by the time we be your production, believe you me, the price will not be the same. But if the fairness is there, we can control prices the way it's supposed to be so that nobody will charge the consumer overdue prices. Until everybody will come to pay. So when I move from here to Makola, to Tamale, I know the price is the same. Wherever I go in this country, the price is the same. But it shouldn't move from one shop to the other. Good for better as some of almost say prices for Mutuano.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Because if you go to the market, for instance, this year, even though prices are above, their problem is if you take one item and you go to numerous shops, the price is different. Because one 8 year 20%, and one 8 year what they are not supposed to pay. Intino, let us look at it and be fair to all. Intino, almost mass scheme on one casa de buyer, that is supposed to address that issue. Unfortunately, that smart scheme, we don't know who and who are benefiting and who is supposed to implement it. But we, as simple fact, say, what is our taxation system we have? Me ton idea 10,000. Obiti also ton 100,000. The other shop also sell 200,000. So when I give you the device, the one that is selling for 10,000 at the end of the day, I ain't no bet you. I said 2 cedis no bet you. Money and 2 cedis. Into the system, you impute whatever it is there, and then it gives you the total way. You pay the same day. When I pay this money, at the end of, for instance, GRA area, that price should reflect that customer A with this account number. So when you punch in, it should tell me if I've paid or I've not paid. So that zonal officer will then come and ask. The one sitting next to me that is selling 100,000 will have a different tax to pay. And the one sitting next that is selling 200,000 will also have different way. We all pay the same. We pay duty. Taxes.
Taxes,
but then we are paying in different ways. Because of my capacity.
Yeah, capacity.
So are there no? When Kobani say me 10,000, me 200,000. How can that be? Into that smart system, should have been the key, and then explain very well to the retailers for them to understand. This way, every day somebody can pay 1 cedi. Every day. And it will be a lot of money for government. So, but unfortunately, that is not where we are now. We've brought up the policy, but then it's implementation. And then educating the consumer public. We've let it ajar. So everybody will do what they like. But rather, they look at the other side. The port, where when we need money, we go.
So when it's kind of
but there can be fair transparency in the system. Duty, what is Sukrapani? You make more money than
say, yeah.
So, if they don't let transparency lead or become the key, all of us we stand to suffer in a way. Because you brought in a very good policy that is supposed to drive the economy. By the end of the day, it's going to be an albatross over everyone. And that is not what is going to be, we expect. Because this one, on the political field, if you are not careful, that is what will bring you down. You think you are making the money and then doing whatever. But when you don't touch base with the needs of the people in such a manner, then you are definitely going to go down if you are not very careful.
Okay. How you need 100.9 yene a Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Ura Samo Agri. Onen yene ni din komo or secretary. General Secretary, of course. The Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Na nyina ye share the business community, especially Publican AI. One sense me ba ya eno no yeguso a ye de ho komo. Na ye bisa se edian na ekoso. Say ye pese ye hu and komodia akoso stakeholder consultations, engagements, committee a wama paw. Said the ye church ade no mo no. Say no aban no emputu hold. Die eguso a ekoso. Ba ye bisa se the consequences no insusanso no dey. They say committee no ma paw no e de die na bebe adwuma be no mba be ye. Native correct anomalies because obi a all crown and normal dia ba no no ono nim ne bag nim power owo e won the manufacturer na say the suppliers so ade na ode ba no obi e dey be free baby ba different price the same thing but the panel so or the free baby so ba different prices all together e be say then you synchronizing together e be to synchronize ye ni nyina be boom na yan say ete say yetimi tua de say yetua wuntimi kodu obi $100 na onfa $10 nso mbe you obi de eti say normal na say ye hwe in as much as ye pese oman ni nyeska no na ye say bisa say ehwa na montuo ne ye say de emfo how emfa ma meto ye so eni nti ne ani abra ye biebie mu ebisa all these questions but oragre say we so mapa committee in terms of reference and them say enye clear and then I'm a tag for acres and then bisa say ade no so koso enti obi a ebeba say okay say ade we esimesi okure ne ye overcharge no wetu second so otua and obi nso de so otua say go otua be kan ho ye be say dey na eno nso yetimi abiebie mo ne ye ho ne pomese bre
yo I'm say Asia ministry no
yeah
nkomodie no ene ze nka montwe sign na afie no munye committee no na yenhwe say so far information ayenya no how do we develop that information to its fruition bit me nya benefit afane nyina unfortunately no ministry no position is say yeah etwe sign a very difficult say you bet me address issues because it's only when it's running and the issues are popping up. Na bet me actually na your address. But yenhwe na yentis committee no. Dwedifo no and associations for no. Emfa obia nipa embe present wo say friends committee a obey no nti yetis committee ni at the end of the day say appeals bar we'll then look at it why that appeal came. Now, yahwe say, is it the pricing? Is it whatever the AI will generate? I know, so I appeal nebeba, and I say, important because there be price with them engine to ma, convention nebefa. Now, yet me addresses our issue. Into no, young committee no yejuma. Now, address issues as they come back. But we share. Addressing the issues through the committee. Yeah. The committee is powerless because information be no more. If you sit on that committee now, it will not be available to you.
Okay.
But say a be juma, and I say to me who say, AI no, the trim pony, Nina adedi. nti adenti na we aba but simulation we simulation kakra my ho me hwe say in fact
send this year juma
eno na eye juma na but at the end of the day no be hu say baby a yekofa ade no fa ye no eno ti say na me kan earlier no the Google aspect where they pick up prices from all avenue until if it's the Google the AI that is really working on that one officers na teach you know afis no be say ne ba ne say na AI we or they surprise we buy until yanko na dwum ni yanko hwe then they go in there and look at the prices no I propose no okay say no there about there money when you debate man no one for back that is where the appeal system is also coming in by a trauma appeal no now you say nipa mienu na nka ho later almost we raise ko 4 na ho e raise ko 6 and a minister no deputy minister ne ka say yen hwe na yen raise ko 12
but I know about microphone
yo yen raise number no ko 12 I to me and yeah I am facilitating in term but you see my suggestion was in the course of determining those prices ebeba ni say ebedi this and say it me addresses away no me nema no edasi shipper no
yeah
intino shipping line no e dey go see the shipyard intino ebeba ni say na me saka inti period na e determine pricing no na che say yen wie inti me demorage akosro inti in order to avoid all these things either say government ebe che shipyard for say and shipping lines say during this period you cannot charge your demurrage and now say ube move your friends and container no across safe place aya ban area ono betumi a determine say enkono nkosi ha kopim time e be sa your friends appeal system no nti eno be ye adwuma nanka sa amre no na sense a container no it record sa area no and now so say one kasa warehouse no fa nema ne ko na mmomu de kwa untumi nton until say you be determine
prices na we
into prices factor no and no get the bane of the issue
okay
and no ye nyina ye engine tum say say prices no cost say revenue na say revenue say na menye free hand na no there it is a benchmark value na wo the way ba anyway now fe no na there say o say or say there will be no under invoicing and what do nema no ba na say AI no crop for pa dia and dem de ba na say me price no manufacturer na ebumia so to make a chem say me price no e high nti en charge me say
okay
so ade
no so aboa we important
no nti no there should be fairness in the system very transparent say na be ye nyina be ko yenim but when it's only one side that is working and we don't know the brain behind it so that brain determine what must be done then that is where it becomes a problem because AI is only a smart system in the digital world and no all information put together is able to process it within a minute no amount of information because the information being by and the worker just say way doesn't exist but so long as it's in there let us be obebo biano it will bring out certain information unless it has not been imputed. You know, the fairness and the transparency is what we are looking at. So, with the committee that is coming on board, I check last week Monday, I share nanka sa time no.
Na go be chance ya kra.
Sabu na wo twi mu ayewe nanka atnase ne ye adwuma. And so I'm say sure na ye adwuma. Mbaye ntino eno na ye twen nim say ebetumi aba na etumi edi ho dwuma nti ye ne saade a ebetumi akọ anim a enkoba ne say ebema the friends saying even the technical committee you know working with the friends saying GRA and as a custom your friends evaluation board no ebeka akoba ne say ebema ye challenges bia but unim ni nyina ne say sat the friends and demonstration and as a striker in Kofoka say yen clear in Yamano. And then there is still hanging no. Yeah, Tristan.
So no dear, and yes,
committee no amfa any favorable results be ambassador. No aye no. Ampa yakoye nim. Nti say na yebekona. Na say ban is ade no still an ye nya ntiase enye adwuma. Then nobody will accept say we. Nti no ne beba no eno mum ne be din pa. Esan say afie no ye ntie kra until say e between the whole thing as sign. Nti no say bekoye nim a committee no ebe na adwuma no. Ye behwe say whatever that they come out with no will be something that will favor both sides. And no pe na beboa ama sa e friends adwumade we akonanim. Pastor Koban say almost ye nti ase ade omo ye no ye ma ye kwan enye ne esese ye bisa question a ye nya answers. Ano de mo bi anka say obi na aye sa we no jodifo na nkasa adai me call Kantamanto. I mean, no more dinkomo. That is not my area. But then it's about trade. Na ye could be sa me be sanko for. And then no more ye. A fasa AI. Almost say I dear and never never na ne bon kosra. San never to banansi and to adie. I then I enton and yet because of AI. It's see can you no one for the better.
No. Me ba baby saw say. I didn't na you want to say a normally be above form. Na still adeto no aye bibia wo ho because honestly speaking you say normally be above for you cry aka so normally be above for but I didn't see na ama adeto no form yes me ba ho ne ye hu sa underlying factors normal ben ene di anya afi ye didi ma latter part no ye ba behwe aye anyina mka ne edundumi how was it affecting more more the business community, yes. And the statement granted that I agreed for the Aba, ECD for the Aba. Almost so now Samson I will go with Asaki. And Koma Yedin also interested now or say or passes some comments. Yes, our publican AI home. Or yeah, executive director, the man Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Samson Asaki Majo. Yeah. Or Samin so edge also pa yada say. Na AI ba ye. Yano mudi nkomo. How can I say yes, a bema manfo tuya sika e say wo mutuya. But on the reality, we should chamber of cement manufacturers. Some of the crowds are a trade and industry ministry. One more reply same. And the command finance ministry say, "One more share no money be because I then idea yet $3. Say to be able to make $40, all because say the AI system be by generate a year due to no money idea engagement. Akoso baby about doing said there should be a committee here. One bit to me actually na anomalies be or yet me are corrected. So far, saying any amount.
Well, that is my guy. I'm here at people and for with the home opportunity now and say I must say that for the past 2 days I must say the conversation of the public AI now it has toned down because the other stakeholders major stakeholders have come to support the implementation of the AI. For example, the AGI have come to support it. And I think that listen to Samuel, at one breath he says that they are not against it. At one breath he says that it will bring parity, and that is the key reason why some of us have really come to support it. And at that point, they were requesting that it should be suspended. That is the group that he was with, group in Babu was the part. But let me state categorically that I strongly believe that the game of the day is about parity. We want to make sure that we bring sanity into the industry, that I and you, Majari, we will not go to the same market to buy the same commodity and come. And I will be declaring 40 per unit price or $3 per unit price. And you will come to declare the same commodity at $1.20 or $1.70 per unit price. And if at the end of the day, I'm being assessed and you are being assessed, I will pay more duty and come to the same market that you and I will compete together. We strongly believe that there is a need for sanity to prevail here. And so at the point, you see that when we were chatting with someone told that the AI will also bring sanity in terms of this disparity that is happening in the market. Let me state that if the cement manufacturers are claiming that they used to pay, I think they said it used to be $60 or so, or $40, and then now, because of the Republican AI, it took them to like $120 or so. That's the argument that they put out there. And then the point is, I heard you asking somewhere, if you disagreeing with the Republican AI, what are some of the things that you bring? I heard you trying to push him to accept whether if you bring your SWIFT transfer, can you bring your SWIFT transfer to confirm? Because if you really say you bought a thing $1 or $2, and the AI says it's $4, the best thing for you to come is to bring better and better particulars. That is if they flag you and you have to go to appeal. The appeal is not get that you go there and say, no, I bought it at $4, and if they say bring evidence that you cannot prove. For example, those who bring uniform price, uniform cargo, if it's clinker and you say it's $60 and not $120, they will ask you, okay, how did you pay? A clinker or a cement manufacturer cannot say that I put the money into my pocket and then go and pay. Definitely he has paid to his bank. It is from transfer, is that it? And so he would also prove bank should. That is where that people are now being called to say, okay, then bring your bank should to confirm. Now there are others who, when they were flat, they send their bank script and the Republican committee accepted. There are people when they say bring your bank script because he or she knows that if the bank script really comes, what he claimed or what he had declared will not be what is going to be on the SWIFT transfer. And they will say, oh, I admit, let me pay what you have put me to pay. And those groups are there. In fact, the whole issue that I am pity, and I was expecting my colleagues from the other side to bring, was look, you know what, Mr. Minister, when it comes to Makola women, when it comes to Okansi women, when it comes to Abosukai, if they go outside maybe Germany or Korea or some or China to buy peppers or to buy other goods, they do window shopping. Some of them even do group purchase. When such a person comes, you flag his DOE and ask him to bring bank through transfer, they won't get. How are you going to treat those people? But for me and somewhere, I'm very much aware that those who also have the capacity to bring bulk containers cannot say that they have put the money in their pocket and going to pay. And you never transfer the money to pay. So they say, bring your bank, your SWIFT transfer. If you are claiming that you bought a commodity at $1, if you bring the bank SWIFT and you realize that if you see that it's $1 you bought it and not $2, definitely as you were saying, there is no way that the manufacturer will say, okay, yes, you were buying 10 containers. I was giving to you $20 or I was giving to you at $10. And now you are buying 100 containers or 50 containers. I will give to you at $10. At $5. He will not give you at $5. He might give you between $7 or $6 or $8. Because the thing was $20 per only 10 containers, and now you are increasing. There is a specific rate that there's no way the manufacturer will go below that. There's no way it will not go below that. And so you know that the AI is just going to pick retail prices and come and put in the system. I don't think so. Many of those who do the bulk packaging or procurement, and even though if you also have year-round, and most of these people have a year-round contract because they know, okay, every month I've listed 20 containers. You give to me at this price. There's a letter to that effect. The supplier will definitely sign the contract with you and will indicate a utilization price and will indicate the whole quantity you'll be looking for the whole year. How much will be the total? How the payment is going to be done? And there are letters to that effect, contractual letters. Present them, plus your SWIFT transfer that you do it month by month. So I don't think that they are doing it. They know what they are doing. Government knows what they're doing. And indeed, if you go to the list, you will know that there are people genuinely, when they say bring your SWIFT transfer, they know that if I will go and bring my SWIFT transfer, I will expose myself. And for that matter, let me pay and go. And so I don't think government usually just want to put a burden on the business community, and the government should rather release the revenue and don't care about the business community. If they don't think at all, this is the government. I heard someone saying that the government in the report there, so the policy the government put there is not favorable or what. If I heard him right. But at the point, I saw that I heard him say they have reduced the COVID levy, they have abolished the e-levy, and they've also put now the rate at VAT cumulatively in the port, which used to be 21.9. They brought to 20%. So government has done something. Besides that, on January 7, 2025, when President Obama took over the affairs of this country, at the point the customers were using 30 cities in the market. We were buying dollars at 14 cities. Once to say that 1 year, 4 months down the lane, at least customs have been using 80 or 20 cities in calculating cities. Dollars would have been costing around $25 or $20 to $25 in the market. But what do we see? Dollars is even up to 15, 14 cities in this. Even 10 cities, dollars are up to 10 cities in this country. Same thing, customs is using up to 10 cities in the community. So government really did something for business community. If you want to say that a government that is really listening to business community or that have really done something to benefit business community, I can tell you this is the government that have really, because they have put all of us wrong. Because we know that if a government took at the custom rate of 30 cities, we should not be paying duty less than 12 cities in the market. Customs is, I'm calculating using, I think 11 for something. It's up to 12 cities that customs is using. So I don't see. I think that I agree with them saying let's take and let's discuss, but I disagree with them saying that let's suspend it. Let's suspend it. That was the reason why I now had the issues. But and as dear as it may, I can tell you the government has given its open up its arms and say let's engage, let's bring committee. We are all going to put up our committee members, and then very soon they will start. Because the minister wasn't in Ghana, the minister was at IMF, and I'm sure the minister should be returning by now. So by Monday going or by Tuesday going, there will be a meeting to engage all of us. And so I think that if we want to say the government has a government that really listens to business community and do what business community really wants, it's this government.
But Samson, where you are GRA today na woman admit say woman intimi anye engagement in Yamana nkofo. Ayana one of the challenges yewo and it says aban at the policy biba obia pese sanity beba system anymore. But say one be your proper engagements. Woman ye edu amo implementation as ansa processes na koso. One share chamber of cement manufacturers for letter I know na aye the official Ministry of Trade for so edeba bontin a womo kan enoma bobo so nyina no womo kire se enoma ni nyina kokoko soro a the challenge the abre omo adwadifuo yi di omo kabo omo form coalition and omo ka no they were raising genuine concerns say enoma ne bo no akokoko soro somebody also can send somewhere and say they are paying their realistic prices and I said the realistic your friend said duties which adiano a quadruple nominee adie inti sa hono would you also admit say a can be na ma implementation no ekoba say dede eba ho obi apade ye say be sanitize the system that is fact but ansa na ye be implement na de na nsa nkomo ye would you also agree say woman yen ye was akwan so
if you say engagement at public policy like the Republican should have done for 3 months, I agree. According to WTO, I agree completely. However, when the government made mention of it in the budget, I was the first person to issue a statement to say that government hasn't engaged. If one government, I issued the first statement to say the government hasn't engaged on this political issue that they want to bring. Because it was mentioned in the budget. I think it was in 2026 budget. Yes, 2026 budget. And January, or this summer, that they met with us at Oak Hotel to engage us to discuss the issue and showed us that the deputy minister showed us data when they did the piloting, they tried piloting, and even in that piloting meeting, they even opened up and then started mentioning some companies that some of us we saw and we know. I have even confronted some and I said it's true they caught them to a meeting. And some of them say, oh, I just go and pay. I didn't want any problem with government. Quite apart from that, look, we've also come across where, because of this implementation, and they say, yes, throw the baby in the water, we will give a dog a man and hang it. An agent called is important and said he has brought 2 items and said the duty component of it is 400,000. This importer cried and called GRA. GRA picked out of the due number. When they checked, the total items were 2, and the total duty accumulated were just 100. I think it was 180,000 or something like that, less than 200,000. When they called the agent to a meeting, the agent said, "Oh, I put everything all together." They said, "Everything like what?" You said the duty because of AI is 400,000. So, but when we look at the system, it's not 800,000. It's not 400,000. To cumulatively, it's 100 and something. It's not even 200,000. This agent could not put any evidence defending himself. One, that number 2. That's yesterday night. Another importer reached out to me. He said the agent said his duty is about 174,000 plus. I sent this BOE out to custom. When they check, the whole thing is about 154. This agent comes and says, "Oh, MBS and Triple Line, it's about 15,000. Field officer, it's about 3,000." I said, "What officer are you going to see?" This agent went and tells the importer that it's because of the AI, his duty is up to 174,000. When it's not actually. So let me say this. In as much as they didn't give us proper engagement, doesn't mean that what they brought is bad. Let me say that if you are important and would team you very now agent travel say agent AI would do your control the patch G number Frey. This agent is almost BOE number no Frey. Wouldn't any officer Frey. Wouldn't anybody GRA Frey. And I think that GRA is supposed to even send out some contact numbers so that we are important. Agent Frey say would do to me anything. And so we'll be so BOE number. No pressure hotline no. Other than that, some people will use this AI issue to be milking importance in the name of AI. And when you really check, AI hasn't even done anything. And so, because they want to really destroy this thing, everyone will get come with any figure and say, "Oh, it's because it is AI." And true, it is not AI. I'm telling you. So, my Jerry, the good thing, if you really give this policy sometime, a few days or few months to come, there will be something. I remember when ICUM was coming, some people were fighting it. When someone said, "I cannot access ICUM within 1 week or 2 months or 1 month," or today, we are all running after ICUM. We said ICUM is the best. ICUM came and reduced time, cost of living and everything, isn't it? I can tell you that it's about lack of education.
Okay.
And I think the DRA should go out there and educate. If they have to put customer service numbers, they have to put customer service numbers. I don't know, somebody will go somewhere and go and manufacture his own receipts and taxes and say it's because of the AI. What is actually not AI? That is what I can tell you.
Okay. Samson, yeah, that's your number.
But before I go, my office issued a statement concerning the the Ghana People's Authority have written a letter or instructions to shipping lines not to be charging these local handling charges of $165 per container by Ghanaian importers because they say they render some services when they actually are not rendering such a service. In the instance where the port authority used not to have the capacity or used not to have the equipment, i.e. machinery like researcher or cranes to discharge a vessel when the vessel calls the port, they used to rely on the ship owners, and when the ship is coming, they will bring their own machine, i.e. maybe a crane or a researcher to discharge the cargo for us. Fast forward from 2001 down there to now, the port authorities and terminal operators themselves invested. And that is why if you are driving this road around the Committee 3 or you are coming to Committee 1, around the roundabout at the MPS area, you will see long cranes. We call them gantry cranes, rubber gantry cranes with ties that they are using to discharge a ship when the ship calls in a port. These are when the port authority or the terminal authority use their machinery to discharge, they charge us for handling our cargo for us. But for ships, did not. For my experience over 11 years in the port, no ship comes to a port there and even add any value, buy a brick or a knot or a boat to improve the facilities in the port. It is done by the port authority. It's done by the MPS, seminars, and other things by their own. And so we think that we cannot continue paying money for shipping lines for local administration when they actually not handle any cargo in the port. And they are not just charging for face value. If you have 100 containers or 10 containers on the one document, this shipping line will charge you $165 times the number of containers on one document. When you go to Lome, it's not like that. When you go to Lome, I think they're charging $68 or so. When you go to Nigeria, I think they're charging $30 or so. When you go to Africa, they're charging like I think $40 or something like that. But only in Ghana, when they call, and it's the same shipping line, the same vessel, that will bring Ghanaian boxes or Ghanaian containers here. That will send the same Africa port containers. That will send Nigeria, Benin, and other Lumi. Yet when they go to that place, they don't charge that. But when they come to Ghana, they've been taking this. Then super subsidy, you know that the law. Now, with the new Act 2024-11, Act 11-2022, which was given to them by the previous government, President government, now make the shipping to make sure they regulate the downstream activities of shipping. And this shipping lines are said no, they will not comply with the shipping authority regulations or act. And for that matter, they've now resort to their workers to write a petition or whatever is so-called the Minister of Transport and copy the President that jobs will be lost if the shipping authority succeeded implementing that law by 1st of May. And the President was even being charitable. They said, look, yes, stakeholder will not just cancel completely, but we are saying it will take 550 Ghana cedis. Yet, these shipping lines say no. And I think that, let me say, they are threatening that there may be job losses, that ship coming to Ghana port to do business is so expensive. I am a maritime person. My girl, you know that I did my master's at the Maritime University. From 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, we are doing this. In 2025 year that gets ended, it will tell you that containers, rice cargo, or ship import has really increased.
Yeah. So I don't know my excuse. COVID near there.
Exactly. So, 2024, 2025, I can tell you that Port has had more than 2.something million containers. And so there's no way the ship owner will say they will not allow their certificate. And we all know paper to agent regulation or rules. There's no ship owner in this country. When we have one, we call it SWAT, ship owners agent. There's no ship owner so far as I come from affected. It's concerned. All those who are here, Metline, Grimaldi, NLC, the rest, are all representing their principal.
Okay.
And the principal knows that anytime a ship is leaving its origination and coming to destination Ghana port, they know when they get to Ghana, there will be services like if the ship bed, if the ship is being discharged, if there will be ship door handling, there will be bomb crate activities, there will be ship to shore handling, and all these things are part of the freight that we pay.
Okay.
And freight is either paid by prepay or postpay or split collect. What it means that we pay them there in advance, or when they get to Ghana, we pay before we reach our to us. And so look, freight has never come down. People now are making so much money in this country.
But something remember says shippers authority intervention, will they comply?
They will have to comply. And that's why we are trying to issue a statement to tell government that do not listen to what the workers have said. Because if you are a worker and you are working for shipping line, the principal concept from us to remit to the agency here to pay you. And not that you come to collect money from importers when you have no work for it. And there's no service rendered and they are paying money. You are not even taking it for face value. If you have 100 containers, 10 containers, 5 containers on one document, they are costing 175 times. And think that we should keep we cannot keep quiet. So we are saying the Ghana Civil Authority now, if before you used not to have a law, today the Ghana Civil Authority now have a new act that they are acting based on it to implement. So firstly, shipping line has no choice than to resort to the 550 Ghana cedis, and we will have to support the Ghana Civil Authority to make sure that if they refuse, they have to take them to court because we have a law now to regulate them.
Okay. Madam say you may say on Yakasa.
That's what that's
okay. Yene Samson. Okay, Asaki. Anna Kabes will be saying you. No, hello, Samson. Oh, okay, well, preso. Zami, no, preso. Obisane, yeah.
Asema okay, far shippers or
Shippers, yeah.
Countries no board in Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Tanzania, South Africa. Omunyina obi ani ho a ne shipping line charging more than $70. So a be there 30, be there 40, be there. But we share facilities say Ghana port now. They far better. And now the systems put in place, you know, it's more efficient, more than most of.
Most of
But
who said it's an independent baby? I corner some of them.
But we share payment as it share shipping lines, you know, $165. Double that price.
Yeah.
So in TCC, last time we share, as some Eka said, we can do at least $40. Now, one can cut nine from 165 down to 40. They raise it to $50. So much $50. It's okay. Shipping line office on to mean you found a member. You can call off. Don't bring your ship to Ghana again. Other shippers will do that. They cannot be robbing us because your name bra. Emaye to me, ejina ye na so ka say, yempini sade we yempini. Then impose them running in the one more. You cannot just impose yourself.
So beba no be impose and normally aba be say mene.
It's very wrong.
Other countries and yes and it here.
If you are giving them $50 for whatever they are doing, we've even gone too much. They should take it or leave it.
Okay. Good. Mr. Sami, so far, what's your power outages at the same moment? Hopefully, the experience
situation is here. Yeah. Me who say, ninkofobi shasia, omo a sabotage system.
Oh, so.
Opa.
Oh, but so my penny zone in the echo. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, say, Siciano. The load. I increase it. Sasuna, you say increase the power generation. Businesses be a bit more. May increases our fence and generation so that they can feed the system very well. And it cannot be said when you go to an area in different locations, you have transformers burning out within 1 hour.
Okay.
So if there will be any technical challenges, the technical challenges must come, and we then address it. But ECG Jankasa. Among us over the years, no more year, and the losses are more. And no namas is here, and you do be pencil, you do. And yes, I can say it to me, I can easy adjust. We share recent reduction on ECG. Obi, no research on us yet because me, because look, we share maybe a more. They attack or more, and say a more increment. Because they were overcharging. They are overcharging you, the consumer, without knowing how much you are paying. You go and pay the money, but you don't know, say,
yes,
more than that. Means the number of days has been shortened. Into what share Nemana Kosuna mean to me, say, Nina, technical challenges. There are human factors over there too. But be it as it may, send on one Kasayaka say, they want to improve the system because they are making a lot of money, by my estimation. They are making a lot of money that they're supposed to. Because we need not to give them money to invest in their transformers because they want to charge us. Wherever they get that money to invest in those transformers, they need to do that. Then we pay for it. They make the money. But we don't have to pay for them to make the money before they can go and bring in those transformers. That would be disingenuous. In Siciliano, power outages never. PUS and Casa Evage name Akase, and yet Bibia Ecoso Bat, a idea SSEBA, and they say almost some transformers, or more as some power lines, almost some offer Dodua Hanum, for instance, I will share the way of Muyi transformers
lines
one side. No munya kwan no. Definitely, nkrofo was
affected.
Affect to and non say ECG inefficient in those areas. But the inefficiency no estimate from management level because they need to put in certain aspect of their managerial skills to ensure say the leverage or the delivery that they give is does not is not surmountable in that way say and no say ombe maye enya can crochin man say in fact over a period no you don't experience because who cause certain areas the experiences that others are facing they don't face it.
Okay.
So and there no into areas now you won't say there's a problem. They should try as much as possible increase the generators over there because we are not planning the human concentration in those areas. Even one is not overpopulation in one area. But if we are planning, say one community, no, you cannot put more than 200,000 people there or even 100,000 people there. Then the generator that you are putting in place, no, you know, say, our transformers, no, can really serve 150,000 people. So let it be so. But you don't sit for it to blow up and then later the demand becomes more and we cannot provide those services. You know, some more planning areas near no more say the way I econo say transformer the capacity 2,000. This year no for ba increase. Yen twen ana increment them ba. Nti enimu enu omankasa de increment number. So that when there's overpopulation and demand in that area, you've already taken care of. Inti that proactive measures, no, they need to put in place.
Okay.
But omoye ni sa no so no, na ye hwe industry. See our government industrial parks or caso be creating no. Omoche. We have only a year and a half to go. We need to see them. Inti no, we should put people in charge. No more making sure that any money will come into fruition before a be election.
Okay.
Because any money na beboa na ye industry every residential areas across those parks. Need to me acquire sagement because when there's an industrial, you know the number of factories that you are expecting in that area. Until you provide the necessary transformers for them to do exact what they want, the needed difference in consumption. I say call you can then provide. But me and Train then Kobani say situation no gets out of hand before we address it. This year no Ghana in the year 69 years as by now ye to me renewable energy but now cost of energy no but unfortunately this is where we find ourselves. But let me say kudos to the president because the first time he did something and he said I'm going to do it again. I know na ehwe nem you know almost says transformers na taxpayers money. They should make sure say this is this from that. And obi a betchin say oh yes they should deal with that person ruthlessly. Men can say you did not go prison your man bail. I say I didn't go to for life. Because you cannot waste taxpayers money for us to be grumbling and then talking about say electricity. You know the energy should be available for manufacturers to also produce. When we do that, because it's a 24-hour economy, the mantra is agro-processing, manufacturing. How can we sustain that? In Tiano, I see it mean the sustainable energy to also to be able to produce what we have to produce. Without the power, nobody will come in to invest. You know, in Tiano, electricity and yet luxury and necessity for all of us. You know, more modern I say it means ISIR because industries are really facing the brunt of it, especially when there's no energy, but all the time increment comes. And then how do you also assess your production? Now into mintisu, send a stable energy to produce whatever we are producing.
Madam say again Samuel Agri, General Secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. I'm going to for so now once when come yedi yanyu adwenture because the year can say yan she and so no one ya yeso na beba. Normal bo besen shoot up. Na if you are conference and bebre dia brain 0302257902 0302257 and 03022435540 03022435540. Memoajo. Yes, sir. Yes, yo.
Now, to say,
Yamiado.
I mean, you are Moses about or about region organizer. What you say? The best Ghana for Muntu Abano Mano. Now, on Beji on one seat, no, I have war. Greater Crano. Now, what imagine sit to the brain. Am I? What you say? Now, my Gary.
Yes, sir.
Now, at the end, I hear Ben. And then only say roadwork. Now, it is Ghana. Bisa, Frena Bisa say, and then on my Tamako say, and get 200. I drive a taxi driver for soon. I go or Corregistanti or Vietnam and numerous missing who a taxi. And now 200. Now, Miss, I mean, Nita, no say.
In two patches, eh?
I damn a patch and say. I hear young penny for no, I have brought na mudio. Na yes, I am Kamajel and can net down a baby do it there. And Kaya Trash and Yama Bob a cause rule. One more to me at the day that I never talk about one now after there. Yes, I know my be Uchina Nusunku, Ujana Nusunku, or Nubina Ghana from penny for dear bro. Nanka where a small problem can come back to myself. Young Nema Bokosuran Yamano. And to my girl, dear, can I say? I say, Fununa near you. Monsieur Abadu maybe a battle young or tubiumu. Because I won't say I had that or Mudadaya or Muji or Mino no more. Did he? Na ya Timon Pone bread.
Medan say, Mamma found the onoso Edia, Mebacho Memoajo. Yet yo.
But Gary, today, like I said, the Bijama and this store.
Okay. Hello. Yet yo.
Nameka, then I'm telling you, we need to be out of my Intimumia to Abama, the Cabamia, no, I'm not married in my. But then we can't find me, I'm store to tell them because
oh, yo, Medasapa. I know what your mama, why? Okay, thank you. All right, so my father, Eddie, I'm about your Majo. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Fine. But either countries, Omunyama Ecosu, he said buffer stock year Mukain. Omuko who were being how this Omuba, Omufan Yasem, because Omudia, Omuto, that yeah, work grassroots. They hear who train, Omu respect here. Nastadia no William, one day, youth, you move a fool. You get the grenetta. Farmers, young boy, again, can you also Bukina? I am fine. After your Friday, a cotton tools or almost a more my near free. Because of the farmers near Mano need a back down. That if I, my Gary, would you say the Boncomo?
Medan say, Mammy fa and the Odia, Mebacho Mache.
You also are contaminated.
Yet yo.
Now I have Peter Bora.
No.
My memory also, in fact, boy, you map up. Yanko Pon Shirapa. That mamma, Adiasa.
Mate.
In fact, Hama, I are there and let Amman who was me. My question. One bunch, as you are,
yeah, can't porter some more porters of our bunch here, baby.
Mike, the Beba, the Beba.
And then the other as a network will be a free money. Meteo. Hello, Nanel. Kaza.
Hello,
Nanel Kaza.
My branch now, me dress you one arm and no eye. I think you are Mahama delight now, I think I make a young branch. In fact,
now into the course we na ECG for the statement aben numere, Gridco for the statement aben numere. Already one so upgraded transformers. Akosomo substation the jail to ho. And now they okay kan Ghana you right Mahama. I don't need good no.
Mike, nti da bia eja beto bagi. Nti da bia transformer besi. Me ti say e wa Mahama say ayi or some say wires ni bia say no mo ye ni ye. Enya asema na fo be kan ye wa Mahama ka so ye serious no. Enya no an no so abeka tenti ono so enka so ye serious ara. Na makoya me bank esi ho. Na manu me bank am koya Mike abene ye wa Mahama de light na man.
Na enti ada wuni wadro ha na. Eh.
Mike machine mama to me wadu atubu
Krache. Wadro si.
My important serious.
Pa wadro si wana ya dum kan ya nzie na anya demand na pesi e. Se nkwan na ready no azo di na pesi.
2013 2014. Yewa Mahama timaduma guye me granny machine wedding machine 5.
Okay. But o de ene port as me ye kan to.
And that's me bank ya say. And that's what about me bank ya say.
Better say na na o bank ya say next time no. Pe woduro esa bank di na pesi. Me da fane kokko te ye.
Na me fane kokko.
Ah me mo
makonta no.
You mate. Yo, I am beje 5 cities so me ho. Na what the account si kan. I need 100 report na man for fro me ba to majo. Majo e.
Good evening, honorable.
Yes sir, yes yo.
Hey, mini idea. Eno na waka kire no na ne a. I said the batch there. Oh, kwajro fufu a obesi so awo no. Odi machine ko wo fufu edi na there. Odi ya meka o. Eno ana honorable majere akachro no. Owi banchi ne kakra na wasa nkwa na buwenu na wanu magu. SRC John Dramani mama ondum kania. Omwa eso omubwa na edum soyi dum kanya no omuso omunya omujuma yi kanya assembly de adosu nti energy minister ombo modern aso be yi de afa bright from abuso kan me de abuso kan na midiga na port na yeso ya port ekoyi niama na yenu anu aye wa abuso kan ebi musuban a omuwo wa abuso kan no enya dipa Honorable Major, na nim say, AI di abai, ebe tinya bua, ama ska enyi edifa baby no, ebe timi enyi ska, na edi atutu nneɛma yie ɛwɔ ɔman no mu. Enti na yɛmboa, na entimi mba na ɛmboa sɛ, ɔmo a ɔmo yi ɔmo fa konya bi so ɛbɔ korɔ no ne adeɛ no, so nyinaa ntwa. Na yankese abanu de ade bi beba ebesade bedding abesa betu Ghana for so enu de yin na yempene because here to aba edi my SNC John Dramani mama the ombra no betu nyama ye ebra Ghana for ebra ye past 8 years and ananado e komo edi Ghana for ye mama mo ne papa mo a omudi omusa tu omusika so se omunfa omunbon sika enfa mom aye to aba editi omuno SRC John Dramani mama eni na appointees no omuso hwete ombetutu niama yie na yenuanu aye wa abuso kan so no yeso yenhwe because na me no ka say magistrate engine would compare 8 years eni na omatum money engine omatum sana sprinter engine omatum me pacho dollar ewo from enti ekwan ben na abuso yenuanu ma ye wa abuso kan
okay
ebi mo ekoso tutu omunuama mu
all right me da say yo me da say pa mami for last one me ba cho ma che
Nigeria I said ya otemenka orubun
kwesi
live from Kantamanto market Accra Ghana channel so say anyumre de mabafi e wo kaswa
my daddy ultimate car me pa cho you go Nyankopon chia papa what dey bia me say me de wo ale okase aye mfato na me nim die papa na me chia papa me pa cho and then right of ayama die you will be here that na me will be there from connection first like my daddy me no ka say friend madru fi opa my men fa ko yin obi and ka say ni ko be bidra from connection first light to Kaswa, total bracket light off. Yeah, Papa Mahama. No one that say, I say, Oba, you say the Dumsi. Yeah, Papa
Mahama. And then can you do the grid ko for Babonte? ECG4 Babonte. One must say a ja out of substation bimo. One more day, a statement about.
And one say a ja out
substation more akosombo. I know my catcher.
And they are saying, you and almost shot no more TPA. Now, if Papa Mahama doing so, I am a Jumadia. No wonder. The Papa tell, let's tell my dear Black Jaco on one echo. Anna, Greater Accra, about Sondom, Akosia, Naomi, Akosia, Augusto, Greater Accra, woman of Nanda, on one echo, Mr. Marjorie. Ghana for a for a day for Obama Mahama and there's only about
okay, Medan say, Hannah Medis, you'll be on Frabia Medan say, Yaman, come on, Torchlight, Sunil, neat 100.3, and you agree. Or yeah, General Secretary, Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Zami, na, Ediana, a try to our catch.
Yo, yenya butre. Na yenhwe, me sure say, yenhwe say aban benya ni sika ye development. Because here any buy no bi anka say, ansese ba. Nemum the fairness and the transparency as to how we get the money. Anu ne hia. Esan say yentumi enforce say, chinchina bra na betua. Sika bia ansese wutua. Nemom ni yema transparency India kutsina wo na yina yamboa na man ni nyi ebeko ye nimu a efi sa ye friends ntubo aye nya yina ana ma sane ma no koso nti ye ai ni de me de bia me ka say it has come to stay na come to stay no yenhwe say bambo ebebo madwadifo enya omo chefa wo na banso enya ne chefa no ye ma ne nye pepepe enkoba ni say yebebu obi anim tia say enya ya comfort because e kra ne madeba asese kobanisa na so ni yanhwe electricity asem no pa ye kan wan
very important
ntino yanhwe say ni we ya no ne asese ye bia betumi agina no eno nti na ye gi sesika no ya one city na ye gi no ye gi etuaka na etumi ama enyinam kane na gina
etime na nice
na ekoba ne say ye begiska na say ehu na say ba na dia na be ha dwun be
okay
nti bibie mu no transparency and selfless to the service of Ghana and one
okay
nti e momode nti e bedo bibiase
all right also better to say by Samuel Ato Agri General Secretary Food and Beverages Association of Ghana Fabag on na what ten kan nti they say ye hwese committee ni betumi aye adwuma na public and AI implementation no ye hu kwan on be fa so etuma correct ya normally se na wo ho na nkoma normal bo enkosoro because that isn't what we are expecting normal mu adwodwo ye na ye kan eti ye hu red flags no so ayan na ye besen aka aha itina ye wo no abusia ha na ye de dwumade ne ye de see your friend Torchlight midin the Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN Julie ebo mi chido mo ye mi studio assistant na me dia seda edia ma Dr. Faradex na ono no ye executive producer mi general manager Kennedy Asante say ebo no chido enya me pa ochina 5:30 nyankopon edi chen no ma ya hoden a ebesa hia wo Ghana muntie so ewo need 100.9 your best super duper morning show DJ Toxic take you over oba be bo nyom kama na bibia koye nyame enhira obi bia nyankopon kan ho say obomodea na wutie neat 100